Warning, spoilers.
Hey everyone, how's it going? Yeah, I know last time I did a holiday video, but I've decided to do the rest of my comic book reviews and then do the holiday videos. So let's begin with Ultimate Spider-Man Volume 1.
The story begins 11 months ago, before Norman Osborn was killed and revealed to be the Green Goblin. Now, Norman is trying to recreate the spider that gave Peter Parker his abilities. And if not, recreate it, improve it. Unfortunately, though, his spiders have been, you know, a failure. The only spider that he has not tested on was Spider 42, which really has a 42 on it. Why it has a 42, I have no idea. It's just something that we just have to go with. Before Norman can do any tests on it, there's an article that is revealed that Norman Osborn is in fact the Green Goblin. After that, we see an old Oscorp building and someone breaking in there. That someone turns out to be the Prowler, whose mask looks way too much like Deadpool's. Yeah, I know the Prowler from the original comics, had a mask that looked like that, but they made the black parts look a little too round and just look way too much like Deadpool sometimes. Um, Now, the Prowler gets something from Norman's old office. What that something is has not yet been revealed, but he gets what he wants, and Spire 42 hitches a ride in the guy's bag. After that, we see Miles Morales and his family going through a lotto system. If Miles' number is picked, he will go to a school where he can get a proper education. Miles' number is picked, and the number turns out to be number 42. How convenient. Seriously, I can't. I really am wondering what they're going to do when they hit issue 42. And his family is just happy. His dad is so proud to see his son is going to a great school. His mom's hugging him. Miles, though, he looks around and he starts to see some kids disappointed and crying that they didn't get their numbers picked. And Miles actually feels kind of bad about, that he's getting accepted and these kids don't. Um, really showing that Miles is a good person at heart. Like he, thinks that, there's probably someone out there who probably needs this more than I do. After his parents and him go to the lotto system, um, we see Miles going to his uncle Aaron, who he's not really allowed to talk to. Why? Well, that's revealed in issue 2. Uncle Aaron gives him a popsicle and he sits down on the couch, but then we see Spider 42 revealing that his Uncle Aaron is the Prowler, and it bites him and Miles starts to freak out and pass out. Miles wakes up to see his father and his Uncle Aaron fighting about something, his father believing that his Uncle Aaron gave him drugs. Miles doesn't want to see his dad fight and he runs away. Miles' father looks for him outside, and when Miles tries to tell him that he's right next to him, his dad doesn't see him. His dad then walks away further trying to look for him, and Miles finds out that he has a camouflage ability now. He's like, oh man. Um, and I'm just gonna leave it there because the rest of this volume is just freaking great. Um, Bendis really knows like how to write these characters. Like just by this one volume, you really start to care for these characters. The writing is just wow. There's a lot of great moments, especially this one moment with Miles and his father just talking in issue 2 about, his dad's life and how he wants a good life for his son. And we also see a little bit more about how his dad feels about superheroes, and how he thinks that superheroes aren't really that, great of a thing. Not to the point where, like, he's supposed to be, like, a guy that we're not supposed to, like. But no, he has a good point, and you can kind of understand in his perspective why he wouldn't really like superheroes. Um, and then we have Miles, who is trying to deal with having these Spider-Man abilities. How he's worried that his dad, might not really care for his son if he has abilities, since his dad doesn't want like superheroes. So he tries to hide the fact that, he has powers, and he tries not to be a hero. Um, which, he starts to feel bad for when Peter Parker dies. He starts to feel that maybe if he actually, used his powers, he could have actually tried to help Peter out. Um, then we have the artwork done by Sarah Bocelli, and just damn. just by the artwork alone, you can kind of tell how these characters feel. Like, like, um, back in the moment that I talked about before with Miles looking around, seeing the kids, sad faces. Just by the artwork, you can kind of tell how these kids are feeling. Even when they're not even crying, you can just feel that these kids are disappointed, um, and it's just really good. This is really a great way to start off the Spider-Man story arc. They did a great job at bringing in some of the stuff that were in the Peter Parker run on Ultimate Spider-Man, like the Great Power Comes Great Responsibility, very well. And I highly recommend picking up Ultimate Spider-Man Volume 1.
That's all I gotta say. Goodbye.